In today's breaking story, JD Vance and his family just arrived in the UK, and they were instantly met with a brutal surprise. That's right, the embarrassment doesn't stop for Donald Trump's administration. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avallone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, JD Vance is a complete and total embarrassment.
Full transparency, but I have to say, Maria, I laugh at the Democrats who are now all of a sudden so interested in the Epstein files. For 4 years, Joe Biden and the Democrats did absolutely nothing about this story. We know that Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of connections with left-wing politicians and left-wing billionaires, and now President Trump has demanded full transparency from this, and yet somehow the Democrats are attacking him and not the Biden administration, which did nothing for 4 years.
Was it the right move for Comer to send subpoenas to the Clintons?
It absolutely was, and it drives home how, while the Democrats have tried to make this Epstein thing about anything but, the fact that Democrat billionaires and Democrat political leaders went to Epstein Island all the time, who knows what they did, but it's totally reasonable to ask these questions. What you saw in the House's subpoena is they are trying to investigate all of the things related to this particular case. I know a lot of Americans want answers. I certainly want answers. And I think James Comer and the team of the House, they're doing the right thing. And of course, we know that Clinton, or allegedly he went to the island 26 times, 28 times. Totally appropriate for Comer to be asking what was going on at that island.
Vance is also incredibly selfish, gleefully talking about shutting down Disneyland so that he can have fun.
So we had the island to ourselves, which was very cool. I'd never been to Disneyland.
They were shutting down the Disney World one.
Yeah, that's sorry to all the people who were Disneyland for the longer lines, but we had a very good time.
Then again, this is to be expected. Trump and his entire administration are full of self-serving losers. I mean, for example, Trump pardoned January 6th rioters while now claiming to stop crime in D.C.
Hey, everybody, the whole country knows what a real emergency looks like in Washington, D.C. That's January 6, 2021, when thousands of mob insurrectionists and violent cop-beating criminals attacked Congress at the instigation of Donald Trump and endangered the vice president and injured more than 140 officers there. Donald Trump did nothing on that day. He didn't send out the National Guard, but that was a real emergency, and he sat on his hands. What's going on in D.C. today is the lowest crime in 30 years. Donald Trump's talking about the graffiti and the crime out of control without looking at all at the actual statistics. In any event, if he cared about public safety in D.C., he would release the $1 billion he's confiscated and impounded and tell the Republicans to release that money to the people of D.C. who want to spend it on public safety and law enforcement and public schools and so on. This isn't an emergency. This is just a public relations crisis because the president is hiding the Epstein file despite the fact that he campaigned on releasing it. So release the Epstein file and let the people in Washington, D.C. govern themselves.
And now JD Vance and his family just arrived in the UK and got a brutal surprise. Take a look at today's top story. JD Vance may have traveled to the United Kingdom looking for a quiet summer holiday, but what he got instead was a brutal public embarrassment. The vice president arrived in the small Cotswolds village of Dean only to be greeted by protesters, and one stunt in particular stole the show. A truck outfitted with massive LED screens rolled through town, broadcasting a meme of Vance with a bald head and puffy face, a photo that locals say he can't stand. The moving billboard became the talk of the village, drawing laughter from onlookers and sending a not-so-subtle message. Vance was not welcome here. But the trolling was only the beginning. Dozens of demonstrators gathered nearby, holding signs reading, "Go home," and "Fascists not welcome here." Organizers accused Vance of enabling genocide, while others cited a laundry list of grievances from LGBTQ rights to climate policy. Even residents who weren't politically motivated were fed up, complaining about road closures, car searches, and the heavy American security detail clogging their normally peaceful countryside. One local councilor said the black-suited agents made the town look like a scene from Men in Black. And then came another blow, this time from inside the very estate where Vance was staying. Pippa Hornby, the owner of the Georgian manor house Vance rented, sent an apology letter to neighbors saying she was so sorry for the circus and hoped the disruption wouldn't be too unbearable. That apology quickly circulated in the press, highlighting just how much resentment the vice president's visit had stirred. The backlash follows a pattern for Vance. Earlier this month, he was criticized after reports surfaced that his security team ordered the water level of an Ohio river to be raised for his birthday boating trip, a move that drew outrage and fueled the perception of a man insulated from the consequences of his actions. Now, in the UK, he's finding that his every move is under scrutiny, and even a family holiday can turn into a PR disaster. Instead of a tranquil English countryside getaway, Vance is leaving with headlines about protests, public humiliation, and an embarrassed landlord. And with more stops on his trip ahead, including Scotland later this week, the vice president may want to brace for more unwelcome surprises. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.